So, it's Asian American and Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And I did say before that I wanted to make videos about every single day because, well, I feel like we as a society really underestimate and undervalue a lot of plights that Asian people have gone through, especially given how responsible most of them are in shaping our childhoods and who we are even as fundamental human beings. I unfortunately grew up with around a lot of judgmental and people that weren't so very kind and accepting. So I turned to a lot of media in order to try to escape some of the issues that were going on in life. And a lot of those just happened to be created by Asian people. I will probably go into this in a bit more detail later in the month, but anyone else think it's kind of funny how, I don't like putting like these groups against one another because that's not really what this is about, but like we celebrate Black History Month, we celebrate Women's History Month. For April, we have Natural Poetry Month. People don't really respect that much. And I think this month is also Autism Month, but a lot of people don't really talk about Asian American and Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month because I kind of feel like we just undervalue how important Asian people are in society. Like, they're responsible for a large mass of media and even daily aspects of our daily lives, and we don't even think about it in some regards. Like, the products that we use currently, were some of them were probably made in some Chinese store or in a sweatshop for underpaid workers who definitely deserve better. You have all the toys from McDonald's and other locations that we buy. Then there's the fact that we get a lot of video games made in Asian countries. And while we get a lot of anime from Japan, we also have Korea and China also making their own animations. Like, anyone remember Tai Chi Chasers or Puka? Those didn't come from Japan. Like, those were made in other countries, but because it's so Asian coded, a lot of people just assume that they're from Japan, even though it kind of shows that, yeah, there are other places beyond Japan that are trying to make an effort into pushing the industry. And like, yeah, Japan has like a major impact on our lives. Like Mario, Sonic, Goku, all of those have a role in things. And it's kind of funny because when you look at like how a lot of Asian people create their craft, well, most of them use a lot of Buddhist, Hindu, and Eastern Asian mythology. You'll have exceptions like My Hero Academia, which was inspired by Western comics. And when you look at something like Digimon, like there's like, I believe Digimon Tamers, like they took inspiration from the Matrix in order to create characters like Rika. And it's kind of sad because in an age where it's like people going, oh, well, the West is very bad at making media, you really see that like a lot of Western fans take influence from Japan, and a lot of Asian people take influence from Western media. It's kind of like this ongoing cycle of us learning and inspiring from one another to make things. It's kind of like why we had like so many anime inspired shows in the 2000s, like Teen Titans, and how you can see some Western anime that are kind of catered towards Western fans, like The Big O, which didn't do huge in Japan, but made a splash over here in America, which you kind of have to respect and admire. And like, let's be honest, most societies haven't treated Asian people the best, even some Asian people towards one another. I mean, you had what happened with Japan and China and Korea, where during World War II, they kind of did some Japan kind of did some horrible stuff to China and Korea that explains a lot of their animosity towards one another, which I do not blame people, especially when there have been some attempts to bridge that divide, but it hasn't really worked out. I mean, if I'm going to talk about this, if I ever talk about Inazuma 11 Japan, but there's a character there who's like a fan favorite, but a lot of people don't like the fact that he was made Korean because of the whole issue, when it's like, I don't know, kind of making him Korean kind of helps you guys accept the fact that, yeah, we did horrible stuff, but like we can have people that improve that type of behavior in relationships. Then you have stuff like the Chinese Exclusion Act and the way Japanese people treated in internment camps by the United States, which just because Japan was attacking the United States doesn't mean that anyone who was Asian descent living in America deserved to be treated like indentured servants or slaves. And given that, there's been a lot of Asian hate recently, and a lot of people trying to shift the blame instead of just focusing on the real target of them being used in order to make people fight against one another, it's really just a shame that Asian American Month doesn't really get the respect that it deserves. And considering that I talk about a lot of Asian media, and I wouldn't even be on this channel had it not been for a lot of Asian related material. This is why I really want to take this month seriously when it comes to making content and really just fight these allergies to get this thing out of my head, especially since the Beyblade video was supposed to be up today. But yeah, for the upcoming month, if you see like a lot of content with me just talking about a lot of Asian stuff, well, you know why. Which, yeah, out of energy today, so I kind of want to give my thought process on like what the video is going to be like this month because of it. Nothing going to be too serious outside of the inspirational video, but you'll notice.